Welcome to another episode of Uncovering the Gems. My name is Marcy Graham. I am the marketing manager for the city of La Quinta. Today we have Mayor Linda Evans here with us. We're going to be talking about all things that we love about the Gem of the Desert. So welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Marcy. It's a delight.
We are excited. We are doing a special podcast series leading up to our State of the City, which is an annual event we always love to do. It's an opportunity for us to speak to our resident, our businesses, about all the many things we're doing here. But as we get into State of the City, I like to reflect with council about the many things that they love about the city. But before we get into that, I want to talk to you a little bit about, tell us kind of how you wound up being mayor of the city of La Quinta. It's a journey, I'm sure, but talk to us a little bit about that.
And I think back to that time, Marcy, and it's hard to believe that when I was venturing out to the city of La Quinta in the Coachella Valley that I'd ever end up being the mayor. So I was brought out here back in 2003 because of my hospital job. I've been with Tenet Healthcare now 30 plus years, and I was at Lakewood Regional Medical Center, and the company vice president said, it's time for you to move out to the desert. It's growing, it's expanding.
Yeah.
We've got this great position for you at John F. Kennedy Memorial Hospital. So my husband was born and raised in Covina. I was born in Norwalk, grew up in La Palma, went to Cal State Fullerton and Laverne for my schooling. And we got together through a softball game, and he's been a longtime Home Depot employee, and I've been with healthcare for a long time. So when they said go out to the desert and check it out, we came out one Labor Day weekend and looked at every hospital campus.
Yeah.
It was about 114 degrees. I wasn't a frequent flyer of Palm Springs, and I remember thinking they sent me to hell. And
Yeah.
But I took the position. Tim got a job at the Rancho Mirage Home Depot. We've been out here since, and we went to every city. We were reading up about every city, and I fell in love with La Quinta. It was a newer city. It seemed progressive in terms of build and newness and a great future. And so I chose that, and it was through the Chamber of Commerce, because of all of my hospital job and my community outreach, that I got involved with the chamber, because we're a large business, we're a large employer.
Yeah.
So that's part of the community engagement that I've always had in my hospital roles. And then that led to city council. And it's kind of the motto of I'll try anything once.
Yeah.
And I thought I can fill a term for 18 months.
Nope. Yep.
And it ended up becoming, I want to be mayor of this town, and I want to serve a broader community. And I have loved every second of it, and I'm honored to be elected every 2 years.
I love that. And how many years have you, actually, how many years were you on council, and how many years have you been mayor?
June of '09 is when I was appointed for city council. I had to run my first campaign in 2010 for a 4-year city council term. And of course, we elect our mayors in La Quinta. And that was about 2 years into that term that I decided that I want to take a shot at it, because you have to campaign and be elected.
For sure.
Previous mayor had been mayor for a long time. So I started introducing myself as a future mayor of La Quinta. So when I ran 4 years later, 2014 was my first win, and I've been successful ever since.
Perfect. And then what do you think, you talked about how you went to the different cities and you fell in love. What was it about La Quinta that you were like, this is our home?
I think I love the balance of the commercial corridor on 111 and the accessibility of everything that you need in La Quinta, and then the little nooks and getaways of either the gated country clubs or the North La Quinta housing communities, or of course the Cove. I now live in the Cove, and I've lived there about 8.5 years, and I love it. And I think just that diversity of old and historical, like the La Quinta Resort, because I had an opportunity to stay there as well, and then looking at all of the new build and how it was somewhat planned and contemplated by previous councils, and we're continuing that staged and controlled growth approach going forward.
I love that. Talk to me, so beyond your official duties as mayor, and I think, you hit the nail on the head when you said, you came out here for your healthcare job. A lot of people don't realize that the majority of our council have full-time jobs, right? I think the perception is, hey, mayor and council, this is their full-time job, and all but one have full-time jobs. And so it is a balancing act of trying to do your full-time job,
yes,
and then participate in your mayoral duties. But talk to me about, what are some of your personal hidden gems in La Quinta that you love to recommend to visitors or even some of our new residents?
First and foremost, the La Quinta Resort is one of those
Yep.
places that it's the past, present, and future as I look at our city. And you've got to recognize and appreciate why the city looks the way we look, why there are casitas in the cove, why there's a rich history of Spanish American architecture,
Yeah.
and just what that represents from back in 1926. We're embarking upon 100 years
Yep.
that the resort has been part of our little gem of the desert. And while we're only 42 almost years
Yeah.
old, right? I think that's one of the hidden gems. I would say hiking in the cove, that's something that until you get up in the cove and look back on the city, you realize how spectacular our valley is overall, not just what you're seeing, but beyond all the way north. And I would say the people have been the best part of even serving as mayor. Is it's so unique that we have visitors from all over, and we
Yeah.
have residents that have lived here their whole lives, and residents that have second or third homes here, and they share where their other home is, but why they have specifically, like I did, chose La Quinta to live.
Yeah. From your perspective, what are the top three qualities or characteristics that make La Quinta a truly special place to live, work, or visit?
I think the size, number one, is one of the benefits. We are not too small or too big,
Yep.
and we've got variety. I think
Yeah.
we have variety in homes, in affluence, in shopping experiences, hotel experiences. So we've got a little bit for everybody. And that's one of the things I think that makes La Quinta special. Plus, it's clean and it's safe.
Yes.
We have a beautiful city that is very safe. People feel comfortable here. They can recreate here. They can walk here. And we're partners with our law enforcement to ensure that our community feels good about being here, whether they're living here or visiting to us.
Absolutely, 100%. How do you see La Quinta's community spirit, and what examples come to mind that highlight this sense of community?
I would say it starts with passion and it starts with vibrance. And that's whether you encounter residents or visitors that are passionate about arts and culture. We've got amazing art in public places. We've got amazing artists that live here, some unique special qualities. I would say that one of the other things would be the family aspect,
Yeah.
and how so many people that I meet at our events, they maximize all of the amenities that we provide to our residents, whether it's the kite flying, the mission rocket launch, the stuff at the pool, the
Yeah.
egg hunt. Parents are looking for things at our museum, at our library, at the parks, at our birthday picnic.
Yeah.
They're looking for things to expose their children to from
Yeah.
our cultural diversity here,
Yeah.
that not only the families, but our seniors.
Yep.
People that don't have kids, people want to be engaged and they want to go see what's going on in La Quinta.
Yeah.
And I think that engages a spirit. When you look at our commissions and our committees and how many people apply and want to
Yeah.
be part, and they want to give back. People that have only been here a few months and people that have been here many, many years that say, I just want to get more involved because I love living here and I want to help and I want to contribute. I think
Yeah.
that's the community spirit that attracted me here.
Yeah.
And it continues to amaze me how many people step up, good, bad, or indifferent, for whatever
For sure.
reason. It's whatever passion they have, and
Yeah.
they give back.
When you have free time, because again, full-time job, hiking, all the other boards and things that you're on, as well as city council, what are some of your go-to activities or places you enjoy in La Quinta?
Honestly, Civic Center Park is one place that just helps diffuse my mind and it helps me exercise. So just walking around Civic Center Park, meeting the people with or without dogs, meeting the people that are having, their photos taken, whether
Yeah.
it's for quinceañeras or the prom or homecoming or weddings, that's fun. Or running into people that you know. Clearly the hiking piece and Old Town and the Village area those are great little nooks for me. It's almost like we've got Cheers between Roadrunner and Casa Mendoza. You go into those restaurants and you're always going to see somebody you know, and
Yeah.
it just feels good. And I think that's one of the things I like to say I'm the people's mayor, because they see me at the gas station
Yes.
in, the no makeup, grubby clothes right after getting dirty if I fell down on the trail or something, or at Costco, or at the P.O. box, or at the grocery store, right? I ran into a couple people at grocery outlet not too long ago and it's just like, oh, hey, you shop here too? It's like we have to support local business.
For sure.
So, but I'd say the parks, the trails, and just the Old Town Village area just has that kind of, and my backyard. I can just sit in my backyard and kind of stare at the mountains and the trees.
I was just going to say, look at those Santa Rosas.
Exactly, and that's very peaceful to me.
Yeah, I love that. Are there any specific, I mean, we have a lot of events that we do in the city, whether we are putting them on or other entities are putting them on, but there's a lot of great events, a lot of things happening in the city. Are there any specific annual events or local traditions in La Quinta that you particularly look forward to every year?
I'll say, and probably other council members will as well, the Veterans Ceremony is one that's a highlight because it's an opportunity for us to recognize the base of residents we have and recognize the service to our country for those that live here and either are or have served, and we could acknowledge them. The art celebration annually, it's fascinating to walk around the park during the art celebration and not only get to know the artists, but understand the people that are shopping or just visiting or enjoying the scenery. Those two events are special to me. And I have to be honest, I love the American Express golf tournament as well at PJ West with the combination of the concerts because it does give us a chance to just showcase our community.
For sure. I think, you and I do a lot of work with the American Express. You are much more involved with your seat on the board, but it is great to see almost this other huge entity as American Express highlighting La Quinta. They see the beauty that we see. And it's so rewarding, I think, for us when I'm watching. I mean, we're there, but when we get to see stuff on TV that they're showcasing the beautiful Santa Rosas. I mean, the drone shots of the city and PJ West and La Quinta Country Club. It's just like, yes, that is exactly why we live here, we work here, we visit here.
And it's January, and these golfers look forward to being here. They love our courses. They're in fabulous shape. PJ West does a great job, and it is a national tour. This is a big deal. Similar to some of the other big events that we have in our valley, we've got a little hidden treasure here in the Coachella Valley that attracts some very large events that showcase all that we love.
It's true.
Yes.
So we know you like to hike.
Yes.
We know you are definitely, get around town shopping, doing what you need to do. But what is your perfect day in La Quinta? What does that look like? I mean, I'm sure it starts early, but
is it a work day or a non-work day?
It's a non-work day.
Okay.
I feel like a perfect day would be whatever you'd like it to be.
Actually, I have a lot of perfect days that combine work and events and interactions. But I'd say a perfect day is, I wake up long before the sun comes up. I wake up 3:30 or 4 o'clock every morning. I just feel like I like to start my day before the rest of the world wakes up.
Yeah.
I'm very much a morning person. I don't know why. I was born in California. It's not like I was a farm girl that had to get up to feed the chickens or milk the cows. But just getting outside, doing a walk or a hike, enjoying some coffee, either with friends or on the patio. Really, sometimes my perfect day includes just getting the errands done. It's almost like home maintenance, whether it's, lunch with Tim, it's the grocery shopping, the drive-through car wash, the bank, the P.O. box, dry cleaning. It's kind of all the have-tos along with some house chores. I still clean my house. And things out in the backyard, little gardening things, and just time to prepare a meal. Yeah. Because I'm very much not a big cook. I'm a preparer and a heater-upper. Yep. So I do plan ahead a little bit, so it's easy, because sometimes by the end of a very long day, the last thing I want to do is worry about what's for dinner. So fortunately, Timmy's very low maintenance, but and he's pretty flexible. So, and I would say just enjoying being outside. I've spent more time outside since I've lived here in the desert than I did in my other years. Yeah. It was either on the freeway commuting to work, or weather conditions were just not conducive to being outside and appreciating the beauty. For sure. I think even too, in the hot months, we're still outside. I mean, maybe not as early
long,
and late.
but earlier or later, right, for sure. How do you engage, I I love that one of the things we talked about was how you are so approachable. People see you out and about. But talk to me a little bit about any local organizations, clubs, or groups that you're involved with. And again, I know your schedule is jam-packed with things, but is there one or two that you are involved with that kind of just more hits you in the heart? Versus, these are amazing organizations. I know that everything you do is with purpose. But is there some that maybe just
Right.
hit
Hits
you a
it.
little bit more deeper?
Well, I'm no longer on the Fine Food Bank board, but I was when I first was elected, and probably for about 6 years I was kind of termed out. And I'm still a contributor, not only financially, but through packing days, through volunteering, through their telethon. And while I'm not one that wants to encourage constant reliance on subsidies, to be honest, it's a pathway that helps bridge that gap for people who need food to help get to that next level in life.
For sure.
Sometimes it's getting through a bad time. It's making sure our kids in the classroom have food so their brains function.
Yeah.
It's making sure the seniors have food because they're homebound and they need to spend their fixed income on their medications and or
Right.
their rent and or their pets' food and medications. So Fine Food Bank is one that touches so many different aspects, not just about giving away food. It touches all people in lots of ways.
Yeah.
And that, and I grew up poor, and, I was not hungry all the time, but there were times that, we had some basic things.
Yeah.
And so I recognize how important that plays. I'd say the other one, and I've only been on the board for about 5 years, but it's Palm Springs Air Museum.
Yeah.
And, I get air sick. So it's not like I get car sick, boat sick, train sick, you name it. But the Air Museum has an amazing education program.
Yeah.
The fact that you really spend time there to understand the history of what that destination offers
Yeah.
in our valley for visitors, the programs that they're developing for first pilots, mechanics, they're embarking
Yeah.
on a couple new things that will be coming in light in the future that will just continue to elevate that component of all things aviation related. And it's a good group of people
Yeah.
that come from different places. So many docent volunteers, probably over 300 now, 400,
wow.
that give their time to tell the story about America
Yeah.
and our fights and our struggles and our wins and our losses. And people come there and they see all of the aircraft and they take a piece of that home with them.
Yeah, no, Fred and his team have just
Knocked it out of the park.
yeah, for sure, for sure. It's I remember when we first moved here, we went there and it was really cool, and then it's just elevated every single year. And now we go there and there's always something new or something maybe we missed, right?
Right.
Because there is so much to see. You really can spend a whole entire day there, sometimes more than
Yes.
that. And they've just done a great job in that education and being able to learn about the history.
Yeah. I'm going to add one more, and
Yeah.
I'd be remiss if I didn't say I'm proud to be a La Quinta Rotarian.
Yes.
And when I first started in healthcare back in '95 with Tenet in San Dimas Hospital, I was one of the first females to join the San Dimas Rotary.
Really?
Yes, and I've since been in Altadena and in Lakewood and now out here in La Quinta. And that service above self mentality is something that I have always connected with.
Yeah.
And the group of people that are on Rotary, there's probably 40 of us, but some of them have been founding members of this club, and just looking at how they contribute and how they give back and the purpose that they have to help, whether it's student scholarships or clean water or third world country needs for
Yeah.
medical supplies. They do an amazing job, and I'm proud to be part of that as well.
I love that. That's very cool. I think a lot of times people don't know necessarily what Rotary does, and so to be able to see kind of the vast footprint that they have and that they leave is very inspiring.
Yes.
What is one aspect of La Quinta? There's many, I already know this, but what is one aspect of La Quinta that you're particularly excited to see grow or evolve in the coming years? Because we got a lot going on.
We do have a lot going on.
And so it's kind of like making you pick your favorite, but what is something that you are excited about?
I'm excited about our eventual completion of the dreaded Silver Rock. I have to
You went
remain.
there.
I did. I decided to go there because people keep asking, right, what's the deal? And it's a long journey, it's a long process, and I'd say of my entire term with city council, that's just kind of been that craw that I feel like I need to see that to fruition.
For sure.
And I know that the intention of prior councils to acquire that land and look at it as a sustainable revenue source going forward and what it could bring to elevate the hospitality industry and again, another passion and desire to want to be in our Gem of the Desert.
Yeah.
So I am excited about eventually getting that done.
Yes.
And it's frustrating at times, but overall, in the end, I'm hoping that I'll be able to really look back saying, well, it took longer than any of us had anticipated or planned.
Right.
It definitely is a contribution. You see that with so many builds, right? People might complain about it. People don't want it in their backyard. And then when it's done and people are living there and visiting there,
Right.
and it just becomes part of the fabric and
For
it's
sure.
part of the routine, then it's not an issue anymore.
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of our development has occurred over the years, right?
Yeah.
The next one may not like it where it is, but then by the time it's done and people are moved in and visiting, it kind of rolls. So I'm excited about that project. I'm excited about just fine tuning a lot of the things that we're working on.
Yeah.
The infrastructure. People don't understand how much it takes to ensure that our roads are paved and our cities are safe and it's clean, and tackling the electricity problem.
Yep.
I'd say that's the excitement as well in a frustrating sort of way, but we're going to get there because we're
Yeah.
problem solvers and we reach solutions, and we've got a team of people that will get there together.
For sure. And I think too, this is again going back to, these are projects that cannot happen with the snap of the fingers.
Right.
These are projects that are going to be multiple years in the making, if you
Yes.
will, sometimes even longer. And so trying to always educate and inform our residents, our community, the importance of a lot of times there's a lot of misinformation out there, and we try really hard to get ahead of that or
Yeah.
correct it. So there is so many projects that are on the docket, but it's going to take some time and a lot of money.
Yes.
And we are trying to always be fiscally responsible. We are always trying to make sure, I think we do a great job in keeping our residents top of mind. What is the lifestyle here, right? We love that. That's another element of why people come to La Quinta. And so being able to progress through these projects responsibly, strategically, is key.
I'm going to add another one that's probably the more obvious and transformative besides the build out there at Silver Rock, and that's the 111, the Highway 111 corridor.
Right.
Kind of that revise and looking at how we somewhat standardize the 111 piece, getting the arts and music line in, completing the CV Link component, and then looking at adding more affordable housing on 111
Yep.
with some commercial to really enliven that area with residential as
For
well as
sure.
commercial, because it is an important piece of our sales tax revenue and the diversity that we can provide to people who want to live here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. How do your personal experiences and love for La Quinta influence your decisions and priorities as a city leader?
First and foremost, I'm a representative of the 41,000 people that live here. So while I have opinions and I have feelings about things, it really is what the people overwhelmingly believe should happen,
Right.
along with smart decision making in terms of the go forward plan.
Yes.
And we work to be as transparent as we can in everything that we do, and so much is online. But I'd say that I've got to look at how I grew up. First one to go to college. We grew up poor.
Yeah.
I worked 3 jobs going to school because I had to pay for my own school. And it's the try harder, and I can do anything. I'm not one that feels like there's a chip on my shoulder. I never kind of fathom that. You just keep working hard and things will come to you.
Right.
And you give when people need it, and that comes back to you without even knowing it. So I'd say that I try to look at all aspects of the input. I look at the facts. I look at, is that the right thing for our community at that time?
Yep.
And then make decisions based on that. But that's the beauty of that community spirit we talked about earlier, is we have spirited residents.
Yeah.
And they will share what they like and don't like. And
Yeah.
while while sometimes we make decisions that may not be in the best interest of the majority of vocal public comments, in the long run, we look at the bigger picture and how that will fit into our community and how that will meet the needs of people going forward.
For sure.
It's a balance.
100%. I think, the city does a great job, an amazing job, in my opinion, of being fully transparent. We welcome input, we
Yes.
welcome questions, we welcome, I need to be educated. Literally, Monday through Friday, our doors are always open,
Yes.
right? And that is for anybody who wants to come in and be educated or be more informed on something. We encourage an appointment, but hey, come on in.
Right.
Because that is our job as public servants, is we want to make sure we're getting the correct information out
Correct.
there, especially to our residents. And we've had that. I've seen that. I mean, I've been approached about something that's happening, may not be my wheelhouse, but I will make sure we get to an answer or an expert from our city staff to respond to those questions. And I think, again, it goes back to the passion. Everybody who lives here, who works here, who visits here, there's a passion behind it. And so being able to see that transparency is key. And,
Yes.
and I think that I'd like to hope that our residents take pride in that as well.
And I'm always impressed of how engaged our residents are. So many of them. I come across people in all walks in different places, and they'll ask questions, and they're clearly informed about
Yeah.
it, whether they're getting their information via the Gem or online, or they're
Right.
listening to the meetings. It's impressive that certain people are tuned into certain projects
Yeah.
and happenings and businesses. And I love it when I do real estate updates, because sometimes they know what's happening before we do,
Yeah.
because people are inquiring about wanting to bring a business to the community,
sure.
or a developer wants to do this before that application process has come to us. So it's always a great exchange, because you get their feeling about what that trend looks like and what might be coming our way, and they ask questions about what we're doing, so it kind of aligns with perhaps what they're hearing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you
Yes.
for being here and for sitting down with us. I think this is a great opportunity for all of us to really be able to kind of brag about our city.
Exactly. My first podcast.
Hey, there
I've
you go.
listened. I haven't participated.
I love
so
it. I
this
love
is
it.
fun. I love that La Quinta is doing that. Thank you for bringing it to us. And hopefully people will be tuned into the state of the city
Absolutely.
and learn more about our wonderful gem of the day.
Yeah, we love this event. It's always great. And again, thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
It's my honor. Thank you.